Ji, welcome back. Time to cut the nonsense. Let's talk MindSense. I'm your host, Meena J.
मन की बातें तो होती रहेंगी. Keep watching MindSense. मैं हूँ आपकी host, Sarita Chand.
And in the studio today, joining us is Lali Pawa. I know I said that. I was thinking while I was going to introduce you because I know Lali is not your actual name. We had that conversation once.
Yes.
So maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background.
Sure. So I'm a life and empowerment coach, but I wear many different hats. Mm-hmm. And I am actually a public legal educator and a law coach, supporting women, and not just women, but individuals that are self-represented in their legal case, and maybe going through separation and divorce. And I do that as my full-time job, and I work for the Justice Education Society as an educator and a coach, really focusing on the South Asian community, new immigrants and youth, and sometimes seniors, on helping them through their legal matters. On top of that, I do a lot of coaching, and I'm a dance and fitness instructor, very active doing different programs with within the community. I do private classes. I do right now, because of COVID, I'm dancing in the parks.
Newton Park. So if you've seen a bunch of women dancing.
And I find it so therapeutic. We're outside in the elements, in nature, dancing. And and on top of that, I've been doing other empowerment groups for women that we think it's so vital for women to get together and have other, whether it's through dance or fitness, but that social togetherness, that time that you get, it helps you not only the physical but also the mental purpose of each of us. So I wear a lot of hats, but I think one complements the other in so many different ways.
So just kind of leading up to this is what you're doing now. We all kind of have our past in life and areas of interest or passions, or this is what we want to do. And I think especially people that go into roles that are helping other people, somewhere along the line they've figured that, I want to do this and I feel good, and also I want to do this professionally in some aspect. So maybe just kind of going back of your childhood, where you grew up, and how you got into kind of the fields you did.
Well, it's really interesting, and I'm going to say from the get-go, I think I'm so fortunate because what I do and what I work and I love what I do at this stage. But when you talk about academics or what I studied, so my focus was business and accounting. When I thought, we all look at those professional degrees and what we were going to do, and I got married quite young. And I was still studying. I wanted to finish off my CGA. But then my passion was, I started dancing, learning dance and classical Indian dance and ballet and other forms of dance at the age of 3. So that was a big part of my life. But after I got married, I was thinking, I need to go to school, but I still want to make some money. So I launched my own dance school. And it just blew. It became, and at that time, and I'm talking about in 1993, and I'm almost 51 now. So at that time, there wasn't too many options for people to learn traditional Indian dance, and Bhangra fusion was so popular at that time that there was this need. I left my studies and focus full-time on teaching dance.
So what was your dance company?
Rangila Dance School.
I think most people have heard of that.
Yes, somehow or another. I have taught, I think, at least 20,000 students. And it grows, it continues. I'm no longer running under the Rangila Dance School banner, but that is where, at that time, I did, and we had franchises all over North America, from from here to Toronto to San Jose, so which was a great experience. I personally have competed in many dance competitions. I danced throughout my pregnancies. I did whatever. Unfortunately, I'm not doing that now, but I'm doing it in a different way. I'm a contractor. I'm a dance contractor, fitness contractor with with the YMCA in the city of
Okay.
Surrey, and also doing private and group fitness classes myself. And so again, my training was business and accounting, but my livelihood has become
Your passion.
my passion.
Yes.
So, and somewhere in my life, things changed a little bit, and I entered the court system because my own family law matter, and then I wanted to learn more about the justice system. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on a family law lawyer, and
Like most people.
like most people, and I'm saying up to $100,000 I spent, and still did not get. I was not even close to going to a trial,
Yeah.
and trial was coming up in like maybe 3-4 months, and my lawyer at that time asked, he wanted another $50,000 retainer to prepare for trial, and I gave it a second thought, and I just said, "You're fired," and I decided to be self-represented and fight my case on my own.
And that in itself is very courageous to do at that point. You
At
know,
that
after
point.
spending so much and coming near to trial.
Yes, because I figured I only want what I'm entitled to.
Yeah.
There was nothing I was fighting for. I just wanted what my rights
But even
were.
that can get so complicated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and again, no legal background. Not what I was, not what I was trained for. Again, business, accounting, and dance and fitness being my training.
Yeah.
But at that point, I just put the Family Relations Act and the Divorce Act and these binders of all these documents of law and legislation on my bedside and started learning.
Wow.
And I fought my own Supreme Court trial that was 3
Wow.
weeks long, and I represented myself against another lawyer, and that was my first experience from that.
How was that? So even just going up and saying, "I'm representing myself," how were you taken in the actual courtroom?
It was overwhelming, very intimidating, but at the same time, it empowered me so
Yeah.
much. I got recognition from the community, not only from the community I live in, but also from the legal sector. And I was offered the position that I'm doing now, that I'm working
Wow.
with the Justice Education Society for the last 15 years as a public legal educator to support people that are self-represented. So I think I'm positioned very well to support people because I've been in that place.
Yeah.
And-
Especially when you've been through something that you're now supporting other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with one of our new services that is completely free, it's funded by the government and the Ministry of Justice, actually from the Family Maintenance Enforcement Program right now. We are taking clients that need some help, basically focusing on 2 areas. One is that maybe they're freshly separated and they need some education, some preparation, some insight on the justice system. So almost like a separation starter that we can actually spend some coaching time with them. And the other area is that maybe you've been divorced for a while and you have an old child support order that you need to get refreshed and renewed and updated because times have changed, finances change, income has changed, but you have this old order, but you never look at it again because you just don't want to go look at those. So we're actually doing these 2 packages for free right now. We were charging just before, in the summer, but right now we are told that we can take on clients that are for free. With that, they get 3 hours of coaching, either from myself or one of my colleagues, and also 1 hour from a lawyer to actually ask some of those questions. And I want to make it perfectly clear, I'm not a lawyer. I am a law coach and a life coach. And so with the coaching, that's what you get. You get someone who is going to help you do it yourself. So
I understand it because
understand
like
it.
you said, it's so confusing. It's so much,
Yes.
and it's at a time where you're confused enough.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And
And not to
sometimes,
mention the the amount of toll it takes on financially.
Yeah.
totally,
Yeah.
some people get ruined
Yeah,
after that. It's
exactly.
so hard. And again, if And I'm not saying lawyers have their place, and we need lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can help you kind of understand the process, package it together, do a draft, kind of get it ready, then you're ready. You're better aware of what to expect coming next.
Lali, I'm gonna be the underdog, and I'm gonna say this because lawyers have their place, but you even said they wanted another $50,000, and I said you were fired.
Yeah.
So having somebody represent you for so long, you know what? At times, I feel like depends upon our financial background.
Yeah.
If we can afford it, they're gonna keep taking it.
Right.
When we can't afford it, so. It's very empowering to hear your story because whether you can afford it or not, but to take on your powers in your hand.
Totally.
And, seeking the services of people who have walked through this path, who, succeeded. I think, that's like bravo to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of people, and so many times, women going through separation and divorce, they are ruined is because they do not have the financial means to do it or the cultural support or anything to do it.
So true.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of factors.
Mm-hmm.
And again, maybe it's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone could. I think I am fortunate. I've had family support,
Mm-hmm.
community support, confidence,
Mm-hmm.
other things, curiosity, to dive into something else, to do that. But it's not for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's good enough to get someone started, to get
Or
that.
even, I think, for everybody to just learn and know, because, like you said, spend so much money because we ourselves don't understand or we're afraid,
Yeah.
and we're just trusting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe having that power of, at least I know this is what it is, this is what the law is, and
So
this is what
true.
I want.
So true.
Yeah.
I think that's the basic that in my programs as a public legal educator with the Justice Education Society, we actually teach students as young as grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, even what happens when you turn age 12. There's certain legal rights that you have then. You should know those.
Yeah.
And we deal with the law every day, whether we're renting or having a job or there's senior services. The law is part of our life. And if we don't understand it and know it, how are we going to take advantage of all these wonderful benefits that we have in Canada that many people don't have all around the world?
Yeah.
So I am biased because I think we do have the best justice system in the world. And I just feel that we just don't dive into it and see what the resources are available. So I find it doesn't matter where you are in your life, whether you're going through an issue or not, keep yourself updated about the law. Understand it, because when you are, and especially when it comes to separation and divorce, there are so many other emotions. We are charged with other things, whether it's anger or depression or lack of finances. Do it now. Learn about what the process is.
Yeah.
Do it for your knowledge. Do it for you so you can share it with your friends. So that's also what I do is I do family law webinars and workshops. And it doesn't have to mean that you're going through an issue. I do them on writing your own will, which is such an important topic.
Yeah.
I do it on even contact with police. What is your responsibilities when a police officer comes to you and says, "I want to check your bag"? What can they search my phone? Just know what your rights are.
Yeah.
So that's the legal part. But I think I'd always want to combine it with the other part, because again, working with women so closely and being fortunate enough to pick up contracts to work with women on working on empowering them and giving them more confidence. One is, yes, you want to talk to them about what their rights are so they can actually go and pursue that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, if you don't add the mental and the fitness, the physical component to it, you are not going to get that confidence that you want and that you can build. So in my experience, I think I combine all these things together. I have
Yeah.
someone who is coming in that needs some legal help. But at the same token, I'm going to try to encourage them to get involved in some fitness group, get involved in some social group, do something for yourself, learn a new language, take a cooking class, go on a trip, go on a vacation. And I think this is where women, especially in the South Asian community, that we have to support each other more because of some of those cultural differences and not that support we get from our home and our community.
Yeah, that's so great. So, with the fitness or getting people involved, and the people or clientele that you work with, especially women, I guess let's kind of focus on South Asian women.
Yeah.
What are the main barriers that you find or challenges?
So I think all women want to do this, and we did some assessments and some, going out and actually doing research with women. They are wanting and dying to do more things for themselves, but they put themselves like number 20 on the list. That all of it, like even coming out for once a week for 1 hour for a dance class, seems to be so difficult to do because the child may have soccer, or maybe they have to have dinner ready at a certain time, or they're exhausted during the day. So we're finding,
like, oh, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I'm just lazy now. When you message.
Yeah, that's right. And so, but then maybe but I find that's what it is. They're not putting themselves as priority. As soon as you start doing that and say, no, this is for me, and it's okay, and not feeling that you feel guilty about this, that I'm going to take this 1 hour for me, and doesn't matter what happens. They can order a pizza, they can do whatever, they can arrange a ride, there could be a carpool, but I'm going to do this for me. And once you start that, you'll find that 1 hour once a week is going to give you enough energy to push you to do more and be a better mother, friend, employee, and just have the more confidence to do other things.
I think we were talking about that earlier. Is when people are living in extended families, you say we put ourselves number 20, but sometimes it was like we are fighting to put ourselves number 3.
Yeah.
But if we can, because of the expectations that are put upon us because of the extended families and things like that. Like, I'm just wondering, I'm just curious, like, if somebody came to you one day and said, I made all the excuses, like, the reasons why I cannot do this.
Yeah.
How do you coach them? Like, give us some tips to coach them, like, you make yourself the priority.
Persuade.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Yeah, what is it?
They have to realize, first of all, you have to realize the world's not going to fall apart. So if, again, when you give them scenarios, because I every single say, well, when maybe your mother-in-law was unable to do something because she fell sick, or your husband came in late and you're expecting to, why is it always the pressure on the woman to fix it all and to do it all?
To keep it glued, yeah.
To keep it glued. Because it's not going to make a difference if you can say, this is my time. And if you do it once, twice, 3 times, you'll realize the world goes on. And try it.
Yeah, so I think, what, especially when you're talking about women going through separation and divorce, like when a woman is going through separation, if they're still living in the same household, it is like you're watching yourselves 24/7,
Yeah.
It's like everybody's like eyes on you, the
Yes.
opinions and
Yes.
all these expectations. But I like it what you said, the world's not gonna fall apart. People are gonna judge.
Yeah.
What you're gonna do for
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
How and the steps you are going to take it's up to you to make yourself priority. Everybody else can hold you down, but it's up to you to make yourself
Exactly. And this is the sad thing. People don't care. If you think about it.
But the funny thing is, everybody thinks everybody cares or everybody's noticing everything, right?
No.
So there's so much pressure of what people are
So you
thinking.
got to let go of the pressure.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you will be a better person. If you think that if I leave and my child is just going to watch TV tonight while I go for a class, or maybe that's not good, or maybe I got to oversee their homework, but you wouldn't believe that if you spent 1 hour on yourself and go back, you are ready to give more. You are more present because you've filled your bucket a little bit, and now you can give even more. Yeah, it is a transition, but again, if you are in a room full of women that are feeling this, you feed off of each other as well, and you get that energy. life's too short. Life's too short, and I find women are coming to me now, and as you've seen, I have many women in their 60s, even 70s, that said, we never did this for ourselves before. I always wanted to learn dance. Why didn't I do this before? And they're doing it now. And why wait? Why wait until we're older?
Yeah.
So
Do it now.
So you know what? When we look at it culturally, it seems like women really suppressed about our passions. In the past, like
So
you say,
true.
women 60s
Yeah.
and 70s coming. Do you feel there is a shift in that culture?
Totally.
That's-
Totally. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I like personally, my mother has a great social group that she's with and her age group, and I want to be invited to all their parties because
You cannot party without me.
no, and I've been traveling with them as well, and I feel like the young one in this group because they're in their 70s, but they're liberated now. They are liberated, and there's so much that we could learn from that generation. And the sacrifices they made, what they did, and how they're living now, but now feeling that now I'm going to live for myself. Imagine, like I said, I'm going to be 51 soon. If I could do that in my 50s and not in my 70s, and look at the rest of my life, I'd be enjoying it. I'm walking on air today. I would love to do that for the rest of my life.
Oh, I totally relate to. I belong to a women's group, and in my group, there is this woman who's 89 years old,
Yes.
and she goes traveling solo, and she spends 3 weeks to a month, and like I look up, I want to do this, I want to do this. I made a goal to even go to Okanagan by myself. I haven't done it yet. It's like so I'm thinking,
See?
if it's you have to, when you set your goals, you have to stride.
Well,
Nobody's going to do it. You have
that's
to
right.
do it. Yeah,
I think what it is that we limit ourselves.
So, exactly.
There's nobody else. And the people that love you and care for you are going to say, go for it.
Go for it.
Do it. I want you to do this. I have 2 adult children, and they support me so much. And so, we think we are sacrificing things because we want, as a mother, which is my number one priority, right? That we want to do this because we want to be there for our kids, but we don't understand that they're even happier when we're happy.
Happy, exactly.
So do that. Travel by yourself.
Yes.
Tell yourself, give yourself a time limit.
I'll have a story to tell you.
Yeah.
Next time.
All right. So just make your list that this is all I want to do. I'm going to make this as a priority. And again, we have to be reasonable. We're not going to, most women we all have our responsibilities. We have things, but be reasonable.
Exactly.
Do certain things that are going to make you a better and more, get your soul on fire. That's what you need to do. And it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's not complicated.
I guess I can use that as an excuse. I think my soul is on fire, but there's too much fire going on Okanagan, so I'm staying put.
Then that's okay. Go to Whistler. Go to the island.
I'm not Whistler, but my goal is to do Okanagan by myself. And I think because, when you think about driving,
Yes.
as a woman driving on the Coquihalla Highway and all of those stuff, so I'm limiting myself about all those stuff.
Totally.
So, but those are the barriers I'm placing upon myself,
Upon
the limits.
yourself.
So, I
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah.
So I guess working with a lot of people. Sometimes we talk about energies. Sometimes there's you might find somebody you're not getting through, or there's a lot of negativity, or even like coaching. Like you said, separation. They're going through divorce, which is a very sensitive and a very emotionally draining time in somebody's life, and especially, you've been through it. But how then do you kind of keep yourself on track?
I've been really fortunate that I one of the reasons why I wear different hats and work with different groups is it drives me. So, and I'm learning.
Yeah.
And the different clients that have come to me, the different people I've worked with, have taught me so many different things as well. We're always learning every day, and I'm using that to help other people. And you know how you said that going through separation and divorce, and maybe even that, getting coached or even getting that, receiving that support is difficult for people, and for someone to actually do something about it, it's hard too. I've helped women that are not ready for the help. And I've helped women that maybe are in a very toxic relationship, but can't leave it. And some of them have been there for years, multiple years. And coaching is one of those things that you have to really think of it when, especially law coaching, is that think of it as that coach for any kind of sport. It's not the coach that's on the field. It's not the coach that's doing everything and running and making the goals and doing everything. It's still you.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared to do everything, but this coach is there to support you, direct you, guide you, do those things. But if you yourself are not going to be able to do that, then that's a challenge. So, and sometimes it's about timing. Sometimes it's just that you're not ready for that.
Yeah.
And that's why I always tell people, be prepared for things in advance. Life is so unpredictable. So think about things in advance. I'm not think that a family's going to fall apart or do all these things, but educate yourself.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that if you learn about this, your rights and all those stuff is you're preparing for a separation.
Exactly.
It's not that,
It's not that.
If I do this, it's gonna happen.
Oh, of course
Yeah.
not. And again, like I actually, mothers have come to me and said, "Could you tell me, my daughter's going through a separation, and I want to know, what does that mean? What is she entitled to? What is all this?" So it's not about just you. It's around your circle,
affecting
your
everyone.
family, your friends. And you could be a better support person if you understand this more. So I have a lot of groups that come together. I get 4 or 5 girlfriends come together and say, we need to learn a little bit more because one of our friends is going through this right now.
Yeah.
So it's just knowledge. Why don't we want to know?
Exactly. That's so great, and we're coming to the end of our segment, but it's been great talking to you
Yes.
and learning more. So glad you do what you do, so thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. I do want to say all our services are free right now.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to contact me, you could. My Instagram handle is Coach Lolly.
Okay.
That may be the easiest way to contact me. You just search that up, but otherwise they can contact you guys at the studio as well.
Thank you so much for being
Thank
in the
you.
studio.